I'm going to be talking about food addiction and my experience with food addiction. And yes, I was addicted to food, just like an alcoholic is addicted to alcohol. Although the difference is that you have to eat to live, and an alcoholic can completely stop drinking and never pick up a drink again. And so an alcoholic knows to stay out of a bar. With food, everywhere you go, there's food. There's food at home. There's food when you go out to restaurants. Everything is centered around food these days. And I was so addicted to food that I, as you know, was over 300 pounds. And I'm going to insert a picture probably here, just in case this is the first time that you're watching, and you can see where I've come from. So what is a food addiction? Food addiction is compulsive overeating. It's also known as binge eating. And what is binge eating? Binge eating is eating compulsively when you're already full. So you're already full and you just keep eating. There's no real reason why. People have tried to figure it out, why people binge eat, but no one really has been able to nail down why people do that. The only thing that I had to find for myself was how to get out of that, because I was miserable. I didn't like myself, and I would look in the mirror and say, oh my God, why do I look like this? I would start off a day fresh, eating correctly the whole entire day, get to maybe 6 o'clock and just lose it and just eat everything that I could possibly find. I remember driving around and I would get food from McDonald's. And then I'd say, oh, well, I really like that chicken sandwich from Burger King, and I would grab one of those too. And then I'd say, oh, I need something sweet, and I would stop at a convenience store and grab Ben & Jerry's monkey food or whatever it's called. I just was out of control. I had no control over my eating habits at all. And it was very sad. And I was in a vicious cycle of eating and then being upset and sad and hating myself and then feeling so bad that I would eat more. And it was a cycle that I just felt like I couldn't break. So I decided to start a program, and that was Weight Watchers for me, and for you it could be counting calories or whatever. It really doesn't matter. And I didn't go in saying, oh, well, I am starting a new diet today, look out. I kind of went in saying, I can't live like this anymore. I can't try to talk to people and have to hold on to the side of something because my back hurts so bad. I can't let my daughter suffer because her mom can't play outside with her. I just can't. And when I came to that realization and starting Weight Watchers and seeing the weight come off, it started to motivate me even more. And, I would look down, and I know a lot of you out there have had this feeling. I would look down at my stomach and say, oh my God, there's so many rolls here, like, are they ever going to go away? They do. You keep going and they will go away. So, a support system. I had some support here and there, and my family mainly, but there's not a lot of support when you are trying to lose weight. Your friends may say, oh, just eat tonight. It's so-and-so's birthday. It's blah, blah, blah. It came to a point where I said, you know what? I don't care whose birthday, whose whatever. This is my life that we're dealing with here. This is my being and how I look at myself. I cannot, oh, it's okay, let's just eat. Not doing it. So you have to get strong. I had to get strong. And whether you have support from your sister, your brother, your kids, if none of those people support you, all you have to do is uplift yourself. And what I would do is and I still do to this day, is I would go to, you have that frenzy where you feel like, oh my God, I have to eat something. It's an emergency. If you've had that feeling, then you know what I'm talking about. And you just feel like the biggest emergency of food that you've ever felt in your life, and you have to eat. And what I started doing was going into the bathroom mirror and looking at myself and saying, you are not going to tell me what to do. I am sick of you, body. I am sick of how I feel inside of you. I am sick of you trying to sabotage me. I am sick of you, and I will not deal with it anymore. And I would say no, and I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to binge eat. And every single time that I did that, I got stronger. And then next thing you know, you're kind of like, well, this is kind of easy. I'm getting stronger. And next thing you know, you're looking back and saying, I can't believe I used to binge eat like that. What was I thinking? What was wrong with me? And it just takes strength and it takes time. And you're not going to see, if your stomach has a bunch of rolls or whatever, you're not going to see that go away overnight. But just know that every single day that you make it through, the next day is going to be better. The next day is going to be better. You're going to be thinner. Whether you don't see a change in that mirror, you're still getting thinner. I am a living proof of that. And, I remember putting butter on spaghetti that already had spaghetti sauce on it. Why? I remember grabbing a whole entire container of icing and eating it with a spoon. It's disgusting. Thousands of calories. So that is my experience with overeating and being addicted to food. It was like, I would plan out what I was going to have. I would seek out food when everyone left the room. I would say, oh, I'm going to take that and hide it. And then I'll have it later when no one's looking. But what I came to realize is what people don't see behind closed doors. As soon as you go out in public, it's very evident of what you've been doing. Or what I'd been doing. And the best thing about it is that the more you lose, the better you feel about yourself. And the more control you have over yourself. And you feel proud of yourself. And you feel like you are going to make it. And whether you have support or whether you don't. And by the way, I am here to support you. Because I know what it's like. And I know how hard that it can be. And I know the feeling of doom that you're never going to do it. I felt like I could never have the strength. And I just started. So just do it. Just start it. Write a list of your trigger foods. And get them out of the house. People have kids and things like that and say, oh, well, the kids like the snacks. Well, for a little while, until you get strong enough, get them out of the house. The kids don't need them either, really. I mean, there'll be a time when you can have those things in the house. But if they're trigger things that just call you in the middle of the night, I remember I used to wake up like 2 o'clock in the morning and go downstairs and just eat and stuff myself and then go back to sleep. Why? I don't know. So I had to break the habit of getting out of that routine of stuffing myself and overeating and binge eating and being miserable. So now when the thought comes, well, oh, you really want to, everybody else is doing that. Everybody else is having pizza. And it's not that I can't have it, but you don't want to get into the habit of overeating and then later on you end up with no points or you end up, oh my God, why did I do that? That's the worst feeling to me now, is to say, oh, Why did I do that? So now just avoid it and don't do it. And as hard as that sounds, once you do it a few times, you become very strong. Just like you have to build up muscles, at first you may be able to lift a 5-pound weight. And then next time it's, after a few months it's a 10-pound. And then it's a 20. And you're that strong. It's the same thing with saying no and getting out of the habit of overeating and binge eating. I just did a blog post on cheat days and how it's not really a good idea to have a cheat day. Actually, it's a horrible idea to have a cheat day. You go and you have a cheat day, and then what happens? You want to do it again, or you feel horrible for at least 3 days. At least that's my experience. And, if you're on Weight Watchers or even if you're on calories, they give you a certain amount. They give you the 49-point allowance for you to use. If you need to eat more than what points that you're given, use the 49-point allowance. Keep counting. Even if you go above and beyond your 49-point allowance, keep counting. I have been in the negative, not many times, but a few times. And I said, okay, well, I had a rough time that week. I'm not really sure what happened. But next week it's going to be better. And next week I said, I'm not going into my point allowance at all and make it through a whole week without going into that. It's all about control and knowing your limits. And so getting out of the habit of having cheat days. Some people say, well, it's healthy to have a cheat day every once in a while. You don't need to on this plan. And I do not work for Weight Watchers. I just love the program because you can have anything. You can eat any food that you desire. You just have to count it. And for me, and I've said this before, the thing in me that says you've eaten enough, that's enough, that is broken. I have to be on some kind of plan for me to stay on track. I just have to. I could eat a serving, that's made for 3 and think it's for 1. As far as my stomach, because my stomach never says, oh, you're full, lady. It just keeps on, it just doesn't have that, I'm full, that's enough. So think about those things when the thoughts come in and the overwhelming feeling to binge or to overeat. And, they say that once someone is addicted to food, that they're always addicted. So I know I can never go down that road again. I can never start, binge one day and not count anything. Because that could mean a turn for, to gain it all back. And so know your limits and pat yourself on the back when you do a good job. Because it's so important to lift yourself up. As I said, you may not have any support. You may have somebody in your own house that maybe they don't want you to lose weight. And I'm just being real. I'm just being honest and real in this video. Because I just want to share my heart basically and what I have experienced myself. So maybe that person is say, oh, let's order pizza tonight. Well, maybe they don't care about their body and how they feel about themselves. But if you care, which I think most people do, then you just have to say no. I'm not doing that. I'm eating healthy tonight. I'm eating my, Weight Watchers points. I'm staying at a certain amount of calories, whatever it is. You have the power within you to say no to any situation. Now start making lists, as I said, of things that are positive, that you can repeat to yourself daily. I had a paragraph which I posted on my blog that I used to say to myself every single day. Be happy when you look in the mirror. Be strong. Know who you are. And then no one can say anything about you because you know who you are. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. This is just a video of me just sharing myself and my experience with binge eating. And I want you to be successful. And I love you guys so very much. Don't forget to like my Facebook page and check out my blog, and I will see you next time. Love you.